domestic violence?
No!
Are we saying yes to female genital mutilation?
No!
Are we saying our children should be out of school?
No!
Are we saying that our children should have penises instead of pens?
No!
What are we saying?
Women's lives matter.
A coalition of women's rights organizations have held a peaceful sitting protest in Lagos, coinciding with Nigeria's 64th Independence Day celebration. The protest aimed to bring national attention to the increasing incidence of femicide, domestic violence, and gender-based violence (GBV) in the country. The event, organized by leading advocates, Barrister Toyin Taiwojo of the Stop the Abuse Against Women and Children Foundation and Antonia Ujenagbon of Tonia Bruised But Not Broken, was a powerful call to action against the systemic marginalization and abuse of women which persists 64 years post-independence. The participants expressed their deep concern over the country's inadequate protection of women's rights, calling for urgent reforms to address the rampant violence. In her address, Barrister Taiwojo lamented the entrenched patriarchy in Nigerian society that continues to deny women their rights, equality and safety at home, in the workplace and as individuals. She described the current judicial and social framework as incapable of adequately addressing gender disparities that exist, resulting in the continuous abuse and marginalization of women across the nation. She said the judicial system as it stands is not only indifferent to women's plight, but is also structured in a way that oppresses them. She went further to say that women are subjected to various forms of humiliation and abuse, yet they lack the necessary legal and social support to seek redress and protection. Antonia Ujenagbon highlighted a series of tragic cases that demonstrate the alarming rate of violence against women in Nigeria. She cited incidents such as the brutal murder of Uwa Omozuwa in a church in Edo State, the stabbing of Evelyn Ibe by her husband in Abuja, and the killing of Comfort Obu by her spouse in Enugu. These are just a few examples of the numerous cases of women losing their lives to domestic violence and gender-based attacks. Ojenagbon said it is an endless list, from Bimbo Ogbonna, a victim of domestic violence, to Christiana, who was killed by a family friend demanding ransom, to Barakat, who was murdered by a stranger. These are not isolated incidents, she said. They reveal a terrifying pattern of abuse that cannot be ignored any longer. The protesters also recalled other egregious cases, including the alleged rape of a married woman by a police officer in custody in Lagos and the alleged defilement of a young girl by a police officer within a police station. Despite these atrocities, the protesters argued that there has been insufficient legal action and protection for women in Nigeria. The coalition of women's rights groups called on government to take immediate steps to expedite the prosecution of pending GBV cases, strengthen laws and policies that protect women's rights, and increase funding for support services and shelters. These measures, they emphasized, would raise awareness about the devastating impact of GBV, push for swift justice for victims, and advocate for comprehensive policy reforms.
Bimbo Ogbonna is a married woman who paid the ultimate price with her life because she was married. Bimbo kept going back to her abuser every time the abuse happened because of the stigma that is attached to a married woman leaving her marriage. She didn't want to be called a single mother. We stigmatize and we shame single mothers a lot. Barakat is a girl who was raped in her father's house. She was strangled and killed in Ibadan. Uwaila was raped inside a church in Benin where she went to read, and she was murdered inside that church. Bamishe is a Nigerian girl who went to work. Bamishe was killed inside the BRT bus provided by the government where she should have found safety. She lost her life there. Bamishe is a Nigerian woman. Christiana Idowu lost her life last week, 2 weeks ago, I beg your pardon, On her way to work, where she was doing her internship, she was kidnapped and killed. And guess what? The attacker had the audacity to call her mother after he had murdered her to ask for money. Ochanya lived with her auntie's husband and her son made her their sex slave till Ochanya died. Nigerian women are tired. 2 days ago, there was a story on social media. A woman is paralyzed today because her husband refused to give consent for her to undergo CS, a cesarean operation, because the child was too big. That woman is paralyzed for life. Nigeria at 64, we are not happy. Are we happy?
No.
At 64, we're asking for gender equality. At 64, Nigerian women are saying we're tired. We're tired of being treated as second-class fiddles in our own country. Are we not tired?
We are tired.
Are we not tired?
We are tired.
Dear Nigeria, at 64, we have come to tell you that we are tired.
We are tired.
This is 2024, and we are still talking about women going to work and being raped and killed at workplaces. We are talking, there was a viral story that went last 2 months of a lady who went to work and her male colleague took her home, was offered to take her home, and instead of taking her home, took her to a hotel and raped her. Is that what we should be hearing? We should not be hearing that women are seen as praise to be preyed upon by men. That should not be what we should be hearing. This sit-in is a protest to tell the government that there should be adequate funding for women matters, especially when it comes to prosecution. Cases like this, there should be more court built. Cases like this, which concerns women, should not be left to stagnate. And then eventually the complainant loses interest. And what happens? The perpetrators continue to perpetuate the cycle of abuse. In 2024, we should not be celebrating what we do not enjoy. And that is the freedom of women. We demand, therefore, freedom of women. We demand, therefore, the funding of agencies that concern women. We demand, therefore, that women should be allowed to thrive. They should be allowed to live. That is our demand.
Where are we today in 2024 as women? Can we truly stand up there and say, yes, as a woman, I feel good in my country, I'm protected? Yes, the laws are there. We're not saying we don't have laws. We have laws. But are these laws really, really helping the women? Are they implementing these laws?
No.
How long do we have to stay in court to get justice for women? We are out there, even offering pro bono services for women. But these cases take as long as 5, 6, 10 years. Some of the cases started in 2016 to date, we are yet to get justice. This is becoming unbearable. Women are dying every day. Femicide has become the order of the day. So many don't report femicide. The one is there is going to report. The family quickly cover, bury her and tell stories, and that's it. The one we are fortunate, I use the word fortunate to at least hear about, and we take up, still we have frustration here and there. We are being fought as if we are some kind of criminals for protecting other women. Sometimes our lives are threatened for protecting women.
Yeah.
So many scenarios where we have been threatened.
Yeah.
Sometimes we've been attacked for protecting women.
Yes.
Now my question is this. When these cases are reported, who protects the reporter? The family of the victim. Who protects them? Who protects the victim? They report, they arrest, and they're back home. Within society, stigma.
The peaceful sitting protest served as a solemn yet powerful reminder that 64 years after independence, Nigerian women are still fighting for freedom from abuse, violence, and systemic oppression. The organizers urged all stakeholders, including government, civil society, and the general public, to unite in the struggle to end gender-based violence and create a more just and equitable society for women across the nation.
Freedom!